Tony Romo had a remarkable NFL career as the Dallas Cowboys QB. He played from 2003 to 2016 and achieved numerous accolades, including 4 Pro Bowl selections. Romo became known for his impressive passing abilities, leading the Cowboys to several playoff appearances in the process. Unfortunately, his career was impacted by a back injury sustained during the preseason in 2016, which ultimately led to his retirement and the transition into broadcasting, ushering in the era of Dak Prescott Cowboy football. Jason Sehorn had a notable NFL career at cornerback, primarily with the New York Giants. He played from 94 to 2003, showcasing impressive skills and earning accolades during his time on the field. Sehorn was known for his speed, agility, and versatility in the defensive backfield. Unfortunately, during the 98 preseason, Sehorn suffered a devastating knee injury that significantly affected his career, returning a kickoff. He tore his ACL and MCL, leading to a lengthy recovery and impacting his performance in subsequent seasons. Despite the setback, Sehorn displayed determination and resilience, continuing to contribute to the Giants' defense until his retirement in 2003. Did you know? He also briefly signed with the Chicago Cubs in the early 90s. Kajana Carter was a highly touted running back who entered the NFL with immense potential. He was selected as the first overall pick by the Cincinnati Bengals in the 95 NFL Draft. Unfortunately, his career was marred by a devastating knee injury during a preseason game within his rookie year. In the fateful game, he suffered a torn ACL, sidelining him for the entire 95 season. Despite his efforts to come back, Carter struggled to recapture his pre-injury form and dealt with several additional injuries throughout his career. As a result of the setbacks, Carter couldn't fulfill the lofty expectations set for him. He played for multiple teams during his career, but his potential greatness was never fully realized due to the impact of that initial knee injury. In 2003, during a preseason game against the Carolina Panthers, Michael Vick broke his fibula and ended up missing significant time that year. After his return, Vick did face additional challenges, both in terms of physical limitations and then later on public scrutiny due to his involvement in a dogfighting scandal that took place in 2007. Maybe without the broken fibula and 11 weeks missed during the 2003 campaign, he wouldn't have had time to sit around and think about how he could have dogs fight each other. Despite these setbacks, Michael Vick did make a remarkable comeback in the NFL after serving a prison sentence. He signed with the Eagles in 2009 and ended up having some successful seasons and still exhibiting some of the traits that made him so electric with his time on the Falcons. Bubba Smith had a successful career in the NFL as a defensive end. He was known for his imposing size, athleticism, and dominant play on the field. He was selected with the first overall pick by the Baltimore Colts in the 1967 draft. During his NFL career, he played for the Colts and later on for the Oakland Raiders and the Houston Oilers. He achieved recognition as a formidable defensive player and was instrumental in helping the Colts win Super Bowl V in 1971. In a preseason game, Smith went out of bounds and ended up getting tangled in a down marker and chain. Though it may not sound serious, it was. In fact, Smith's injury was described as one Colt executive as one of the worst knee injuries our team doctor has ever seen. The injury would cause him to lose the entire season, and due to continued problems with his knee, he was never the same player again. After retiring from football, Bubba transitioned into acting, becoming a successful actor in films and television, most notably playing Hightower in Police Academy. Tragically, on August 3, 2011, Bubba passed away at the age of 66. Sometimes guys have all the luck. Stephon Johnson, a former running back for USC, had a bit of an interesting injury while in college. In 2009, he suffered a devastating injury while weightlifting, basically dropping the bar right on his throat, ended up losing his voice, crushed his vocal box, his larynx, and honestly, never thought he would play football again. It needed so many surgeries and medical attention. He eventually fought his way all the way back to making an NFL roster, but unfortunately in his rookie season with the Tennessee Titans, he severely dislocated his foot and his ankle and ended up just never being the same, and he was out of the league within a couple years. But safe to say that injury with the Titans put the final nail in the coffin for his career. Next up on the list is Chris Spielman, a former monster linebacker for the Detroit Lions and the Buffalo Bills. In college, he played his ball at Ohio State, where he was a two-time All-American and ended up winning the Lombardi Award for the nation's top linebacker. During his time in the NFL, not only was a top defensive player, he ended up making 4 Pro Bowl selections and just had a reputation for his tenacity and his passion for the game. Regarding his preseason injury, during the 98 season, Spielman suffered a neck injury while playing for the Buffalo Bills. Unfortunately, this is the injury that had him retire from professional football prematurely at the age of 32. After his playing career, he did transition into a successful role and career as a television analyst and commentator for football games, but he has continued to stay involved with the sport through various media roles as well. Okay, we're really starting to get at the top of the list now. This next one a lot of people might have had as their number one just because of the sheer significance and the impact of the injury. Trent Green's injury in the 1999 NFL preseason had a huge impact on the trajectory of 2 quarterbacks' careers and the fortunes of the teams involved. It occurred on August 28, 1999, when Trent Green suffered a severe knee injury, tearing his ACL and MCL. At the time, he was the starting QB for St. Louis and was expected to lead their high-powered offense under coach Dick Vermeil. However, Green's injury opened the door for Kurt Warner, who had the Rams' backup quarterback role at the time. He stepped in, and everyone now knows what the greatest show on turf was, as they went on to win the Super Bowl, and he ended up becoming an MVP. As far as Green, he was traded to the Kansas City Chiefs after recovering from the injury and actually still had a pretty successful career, but he was never quite the same and never reached the same heights that Warner did with the Rams. Darryl Stingley was an American football receiver who played for the New England Patriots in the NFL. He was unfortunately known for the tragic event that occurred during a preseason game on August 12, 1978. During that game, Stingley suffered a devastating hit from Oakland Raiders safety Jack Tatum, resulting in a severe spinal cord injury. The hit left Stingley paralyzed from the neck down. He was confined to a wheelchair for the rest of his life. The impact of his injury was significant to both on and off the football field. First off, NFL rule changes. Stingley's injury prompted the NFL to reassess its rules and safety measures. The league implemented stricter rules on helmet-to-helmet hits and other dangerous plays to reduce the risk of severe injuries. Player safety awareness. The incident brought attention to player safety issues in football and raised awareness about the potential long-term consequences of on-field collisions. It led to discussions about the game and how it can be made safer for players. The personal impact as well, with his injury, had a profound effect on his life and family. He faced immense physical and emotional challenges due to his paralysis. He showed tremendous courage and resilience throughout his life, becoming an inspiration to many. Then the legal and medical ramifications. There were both following the incident. Stingley and Tatum were involved in a legal dispute, but they eventually settled out of court. The case also sparked discussions about the need for better medical care and rehabilitation for injured athletes. Overall, Stingley's injury had a lasting impact on the NFL, player safety measures, and the public perception of the sport. It serves as a reminder of the risks associated with high-impact sports and the importance of prioritizing player safety. All right, we're at the number one spot on the list, and it's a spot that nobody wanted in the view of the NFL today and all the hard hits, collisions. A lot of things have changed since Stone Johnson played back in 1963. Now, Stone Johnson, if you don't know, we don't have any video or actual file footage of the injury. Not that we're trying to show that anyway, but, he was a rookie coming into the 1963 season. He was even a track finalist in the 1960 Summer Olympics, but he ended up suffering a fractured vertebrae in his neck during a preseason game against the Houston Oilers that was played in Wichita, Kansas. During a kickoff return, he ended up taking a shot and just remained motionless. He died 10 days later on September 8th at the age of 23. Although he was only on the team's active roster during the preseason, his jersey number 33 has been retired. While technically not an NFL preseason injury, the AFL, which ultimately merged with the NFL, so we're going to record this one as well. Now, we know there's tons of injuries out there, and not all happened in the preseason, so we weren't trying to go through and compile everything, but we just wanted to take a second, since preseason has begun, how many devastating injuries have happened during the preseason games that have really altered the course of individual careers or just the game in general, be it changing the rules to prevent injuries or to discipline players for being too aggressive on the gridiron, to just what they dealt with in their day-to-day lives off the field once the injuries occurred. There's been so many things that have happened over the course of the NFL, and the preseason is no exception. In a game that is simply meant to be an exhibition, everything can still be lost or had in the same moment. We hope you enjoyed the list. If you disagreed or agreed with the countdown, let us know in the comments. And if you're looking forward to more lists like this in the future, let us know what we'd like to see, and we'll see what we can cook up. This is Chad the Mark from We Don't Know Sports. Have a great one. Don't forget to subscribe wherever you get your podcast to get our weekly show. But we'll keep trying to bring you more multimedia content any which way we can. See you guys out there.